Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, family and friends. Something occurred to me last night when I saw a particular news report. And the only way I could describe it is, and I know it's going to sound funny, but the White House and President Trump have some serious, like, pinky in the brain, the illusions of grandeur right now. Whether it's, what are we going to do today? We're going to try to take over the world. Whether it's Greenland, whether it's Canada, buying the Gaza Strip, Mexico, South America, now Palestine and Israel saying, oh, well, maybe America could take control of the Gaza Strip once this war is over. It's giving pinky in the brain vibes, okay? So they're strip mining America, like they're trying to, our national parks and things like that, they're trying to open those up for private businesses to exploit the mineral rights, and it makes no sense. Why would we? What happens when all those things, when all those resources are gone? When then what? What's going to happen to America? They don't care what happens once they're gone. They don't care. They just want to make it money while they can, while they're here, and to heck with what happens if we're a pollution-ridden country in 50 years from now, because they won't be here. They don't care. So the report that I saw last night, I'm sorry I had to get that off my chest before I really went into this, was we've all heard how they are laying off and trying to eliminate certain federal departments, right? Well, here's one that hasn't been talked about very much. The FEC, the Federal Elections Commission. They're the ones that make sure all of our elections are fair. They're the ones that make sure that our votes get counted. So what happens if that department is dissolved or defunded or can't do their job properly? Who is going to certify the elections? Remember, I told you even just yesterday, and I've been saying, he doesn't care. The reason he doesn't care about farmers and truckers and unions and coal miners and all is because he doesn't need your votes anymore. Well, lo and behold, either one, he can't run again. But if he gets rid of the FEC and just ignores the Constitution, what's to stop him from just saying, oh, we're not going to count any votes that come from California, the whole state, we're not going to count their votes. We're only going to count the votes from the three states that voted for him. You see how that works? And is that not scary? Even if you were a hardcore Trump supporter, the fact that democracy would be eliminated by doing something like that doesn't bother MAGA folks at all. Like, that just... How can you say you love America and you don't care that America is being systematically dismantled piece by piece and our democracy being eroded? You don't care that your grocery prices are up from, and everything, all the prices are up from tariffs, because you might be poor, but misery loves company. At least you're not black or Mexican, right? Is that, you really are okay with cutting off your nose to spite your face? It's baffling. Anyway, that's my video, and pay attention to that. And when you see what I'm talking about, him trying to dismantle the FEC, you cannot, when the midterms come, you cannot keep these MAGA folks in office, because they'll just go right along with it, padding their pockets full of money and not care what happens to those of us that are left behind here in America when they move off to the Bahamas or whatever with their billions of dollars. Vote these MAGA folks out. If you want to vote Republican, that's perfectly fine, but do not let these MAGA folks stay in office. Anyway, like I said, vote. I never tell you who to vote for. I'm telling you who to vote against. If you want to vote Republican, that's perfectly fine. Just do not let these MAGA folks stay in office when midterms come. Thank you, and that's my video.